grew up in Grand Rapids, lived in Wyoming. I was in a car accident 23 years ago, and it left me about a T11 paraplegic, so I don't have feeling below my hips. I started playing wheelchair basketball about 23 years ago. I always played basketball all through school, and so I thought I would try it out, and I enjoyed it.
I play multiple sports. I play wheelchair basketball, wheelchair tennis, road racing, and I play for the United States Paralympic Sit volleyball team.
I've had all kinds of experiences being in a wheelchair. I've been in places that were accessible, places that weren't accessible. Older cities are maybe a little less accessible. You get down like Chicago. Chicago's pretty accessible. Detroit's not. I think maybe because it's older, maybe not quite as nice.
You go and visit these other cities and you have a challenge of getting up and down the curve, or if you're unable to pop a wheelie to get up the curve, then you're going to be stuck. Can you help me, etc. So I think it's very important that a lot of cities should take note and follow the steps.
In 1973, Section 504, the Rehab Act, was passed. This was the Anti-Discrimination Act, which prohibited employers and educators from discriminating against people with disabilities in hiring and in education. Following up with that was the 1990 Americans with Disabilities Act. This was the groundbreaking legislation that focused on programmatic and physical barrier removal. And so physical barriers mean things like door thresholds, making doors wider, providing ramps for physical access into a community facility or an agency. Programmatic barriers refer to things like removing communications or transportation issues that would prohibit the person with the disability from actually participating in the program. I teach a class at Grand Valley State University in therapeutic recreation, whereby the students need to learn about accessibility issues in Grand Rapids. One of their assignments is to head out into the community, choose an agency, and actually take a tape measure and measure doors and ramps and thresholds and light fixtures, and make sure, right down to the finest detail, what the accessibility level is in that agency.
Today we performed an accessibility report at the Grand Rapids Children's Museum.
Everything we do at the Children's Museum is designed to be accessible as much as possible for all kids. Our bubble tower, where kids can pull a rope and pulls up a ring and they are standing inside of a bubble. But if they're in a wheelchair, it's also wheelchair accessible. So they can roll up on a ramp, pull the same string, and they have just as much fun as any other child.
Our results concluded that throughout the museum, most areas are very easily accessible to any size wheelchairs. The elevators are extremely accessible. The doors allow for extra time to get in and out, and there's also plenty of space inside the elevator for multiple wheelchairs if necessary.
Since the 1990 ADA, we have almost free and clear access in Grand Rapids. I would hazard a guess that 85 to 90% of the community agencies and facilities in Grand Rapids are accessible at this point.
One thing that'd be really nice to do is if they had more designated handicap spots for parking. Right now they just have, I see one or two every once in a while, but they don't really have spots just for handicap parking in the meters. So Grand Rapids is pretty accessible overall. There's only a few places I've been that aren't accessible.
On a scale of 1 through 10, Grand Rapids will be rated in most cities as an 8. which I think is very good. Some of the other cities need to, take a look at what our city commissioners are doing to make things possible. Cities like Wyoming or Kentwood, even bigger cities, they're making everything accessible, which is a great thing for our city. And I like the way that it's going and it is headed.